Welcome to another episode, everyone. Let's watch as Jasmine Crockett corners an evasive individual when asked how come America has $3 billion to push a war but cannot feed the poor. Individuals here are homeless in the country, have no health care, can't buy groceries, but America has $3 billion to fund a war. Of course they do. Let's get into it.
I'm going to start with Tupac. We're going to start with the fact that Tupac famously said, for those of you that didn't necessarily listen to rap, that we've got money for war, but we can't feed the poor. And the reason that I bring this up is for two reasons. Number one, in order to get Maduro, the estimated cost is $3 billion. I can guarantee you that a lot of Americans would say, yes, there's a valid warrant and things like that, but for the cost of $3 billion, let's put our money somewhere else. Number one. Number two, Professor, you talked about the fact that if there wasn't the loss of life as it relates to our service members, or if this was just kind of quick boots on the ground for a second, then it wasn't war. So just answer this question for me. Would you consider what is taking place currently in the Middle East a war because we continue to have our sons and daughters returned in caskets to the United States? That's a yes or no?
No, the analysis for Iran is different.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you agree with me then? Yes?
I didn't say that.
Okay, it's different analysis, so I'm just going to go with you agree with me.
Yes, he agrees with you, but can't say that. I didn't say that. You did just say you agree. You're a professor. You're not supposed to have a dog in this fight. You're just there to speak the truth. How come you can't take her side? How come you can't say, yes, I agree? Because they're all corrupt. They're all evasive. Yes, it is a war.
Because this is clearly a war and it's unconstitutional. That is the bottom line. And frankly, as it relates to Venezuela, I think that we still will have some time to determine exactly how bad it is. Because imagine for 2 seconds that you had fishermen and sailors that were coming from the United States. And Venezuela all of a sudden started bombing our people saying, oh, no, you're bringing guns. Because let me be clear, America does their fair share of nonsense in other countries. We tend to supply everybody with the guns. We flood this world with guns everywhere, right? So let's say they said, you know what? We don't want all those guns going to the gangsters in our communities. So we're just going to start blowing people up. And frankly, legally, that may work for them. You know why? We have a constitution and not everybody does. And so it is offensive to sit here and engage in this conversation as someone who practiced criminal law. And my God, everyone that I had, no matter what they were accused of, even if they were accused of capital murder, they were given an opportunity to actually show up in court and face their accusations, not be killed. So the justification, I don't understand why we are trying to make it partisan. It should not be partisan to just go and blow up these boats. Are you saying, Professor, that you believe that blowing up these boats because somebody believes it? You know what? Let me do it this way. Let's say they are drug traffickers. Do you believe that it is constitutional for the United States to blow up people that are accused of being drug traffickers?
So it's not going to be a yes or no question. If I can take
okay, then I'm gonna stop you there because I only got so much time. And Professor,
the sickness of these people, it's just a sickness. What do you mean? It's not a yes or no. The question is very simple. It is a yes or no question and answer. The question was, do you believe that it is okay for Americans to blow up boats that they suspect is carrying illegal drugs? But as she said, let's say that they are, just for the sake of the argument, because some of these people may not be carrying drugs and they're blowing up these boats. But let's just say that they are. That gives you a right to kill them. They have due process. They have a right. They have the right to face their accuser. They have a right to have their day in court, as does anyone else. If the boat is full of drugs, they still have a right to their due process to go to court and be found guilty or not guilty by a jury of their peers of this offense, of this charge, of this crime. You are the judge, God, and the jury when you kill these individuals before they even have one day in court because you suspect them of carrying illegal narcotics. Particularly when you consider the fact that the CIA was complicit in bringing narcotics over here to the country and still is. A bunch of murderous hypocrites just want to kill people. She asked a simple question. Is it okay to blow these people up because you suspected they're carrying drugs? Let's say that they are carrying drugs. Is it okay to kill them? Just blow up their boat and kill everyone on board? And he said it's not a yes or no answer. Whoa. Damn. So he's about to give this long soliloquy and justify it. Well, yeah, it's okay if it's this, that, and the other. All of these people do drugs, take pills and all of this. These people are hypocrites, man. Can't stand them.
I was really loving on you because you came from South Texas, which is down in Houston, not too far from the University of Houston where I got my law degree, but it is very clear that it is unconstitutional for us in the United States. Let me give y'all another issue that I don't understand if y'all see it the way that I do. There's this little thing called the Epstein files. There's a lot of people that have been found liable, charged, all kinds of stuff, from Prince Andrew and Peter Mandelson, from Norwegian officials, the former prime minister, and the former ambassador, all these different people, right? Some would argue, especially since there was international trafficking that was taking place, some would argue that our president, whose name is found over and over and over and over in these files, may have engaged in, say, child trafficking, sex trafficking. They may come to that conclusion. Now, with that being the understanding, if there are other countries that believe, because they believe in actually holding people accountable, okay? So they say, you know what? There were some girls from England or wherever, because there were people from different countries. And they say, you know what? We gonna just come and we're gonna drop in on America. We're going to bomb America. We're going to kill civilians in America because you know what? We have a warrant for his arrest. Whether it's for the child sex trafficking in the Epstein files because America doesn't want to do their job, or whether we're talking about violating international law, whether we're talking about going and just randomly killing people. I can tell you that every single one of you that is sticking up for him right now would be screaming from the rooftops. The analysis has to be the same. I am so offended that I am still paying my daggone student loans for law school, and it seems like none of it matters nowadays, because seemingly what we do is we twist the law to justify. The analysis is the same. If you would be outraged if they came and bombed our country to go after him, to arrest him, if you're listening, that I don't know if people are doing this. But if they decided to do that because of the Epstein files or because of violating international law, you all would be against it. So we should be against it right now. Thank you, I'll yield.
Yeah, they're not all against it because they're all sick. And trying to plead with these individuals or have some form of logic as it relates to these politicians and these partisan right-wing extremists, you're just really wasting your time. Is falling on deaf ears. Of course, they have no right. Trump is guilty, clearly. He's clearly guilty of abusing children. But people are going to say he has his day in court. He needs his day in court. You would not agree with just killing him without his due process, right? Well, the same scenario it's the same in reverse. They are killing these individuals, blowing up these boats because they suspect that the boats have drugs. They suspect that these individuals are drug dealers. Just like we suspect that Donald Trump is a child abuser. But they're not over here blowing up the White House saying we're going to kill him. because we believe that he's guilty of this. Then you say, well, they're bringing drugs into the country. Trump is accused of abusing women or little girls from their country. That's the point Jasmine Crockett is making. So since Trump is accused of this, and you guys are doing nothing about it over here in America, they say, well, we're going to take he abused our children over here. We're going to take the law into our own hands and eliminate him. Her point is only that you guys wouldn't like that. You're going to say, no, you don't have no right to take his life. He has due process. A jury of his peers decides whether or not he is guilty of these offenses, not you. But the same logic doesn't apply when it comes to these sick individuals. They're blowing up boats and killing these individuals because they suspect them of being guilty of a crime without these individuals having one day in court. Yet we suspect Donald Trump and many others of being guilty of sick crimes, much worse than having drugs on the boat, murder, killing kids, killing little babies, eating babies' flesh. All this stuff these sick people were doing. Read the Epstein files. Not only is Trump not being the only country that hasn't held anyone accountable. Every other country been arresting the people. Germany and France released the Epstein files unredacted. We see everything. Go look at them. They've also begun to arrest people that are in the Epstein files. They're holding them accountable, taking their ass to court, going to jail. Only in this country. All these individuals that are in the Epstein files, and not one individual has been arrested. Sick, corrupt people. Talking about you run the world. You're the leaders of the world. Bunch of murderers, bunch of sick devils that do nothing but cause war and mayhem and abuse children. A bunch of predators. Sick ones. And the American people are just as sick for allowing them to get away with it. You're all sick. Stay safe and stay free. Sick people.